Out. What is potting?
Where do I put my hands?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to Tuck Rule Takes, episode 238, the Brian Hoyer, Ramondre Stevenson episode of Tuck Rule Takes.
Well played.
Little mini vacation. We'll get into that real quick before we get into all the training camp stuff. But as usual, the gang is all here. I'm Mike, bringing that main character energy for whatever day you're listening to this. Liam is here as well, looking swole, looking smart with the glasses, even though he's not, but he's still posing as one. Liam, how you doing?
Never better, old sport. How are you?
There we go. Old sport. Exactly. Yeah, I turned 35 in December, so get ready for that. And also, Al is here. Al, we will talk about your big last week and a half, kind of your big last 2 weeks here. But Al, how are you doing?
Doing good. Refreshed. Got some sun. I'm ready to go. Ready to talk about some Pat stuff. Like seriously, the season's
Back
almost
in the
here,
saddle.
guys. Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You said you got some sun. I was going to tell you couldn't notice. You still look white as fuck. But
Oh,
hey,
I know.
Al, I'm
I
happy
know.
you're here. I am pumped to be back recording with you guys. Like I know before we hit record, we were all kind of, ready to go, kind of hiding our emotions. I know Liam wanted to cry a little bit because he's happy to be here with us.
That's exactly it.
But before we even get into, because Al, I want to just kind of quick recap of your beautiful day, your wedding. I do want to shout out real quick right off the top, Couch Guy Sports and Sports Spider. Forgot to do it on the bonus episode. Probably forgot to do it the episode beforehand. Couch Guy Sports, the OGs. Al put us together. Go check them out. CouchGuySports.com. Bunch of sports related stuff on there. As you can tell by the name, Couch Guy Sports. Also, check out Sports Spider, similar to Spider-Man, which I did see over the weekend. Already made $1 billion, on its way to $2 billion. Go see Spider-Man. Sports Spider, that is Spider with a Y. Go there. Click the NFL tab. What do you do next? You click Patriots, scroll down. We are right there. Thank you, Couch Guy Sports and Sports Spider. Al, the reason we have been laid off for about a week and a half it's because you got married, sir. So
Yes.
just real quick, how do you feel? Do you feel different? And just how is the wedding? We don't need to get too deep into it because you'll cry, I'll cry, Liam will run away because he can't be crying. He's a big man.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
talk about it, man. How was your day? It was a beautiful day.
I mean, Mike, you hit the nail on the head. It was just a great day for everybody involved. I mean, we had so much fun. Like everybody was just having a great time. Had people come up to me and say, "Hey, the wedding was awesome. We had so much fun. One of the better weddings we've been to." Some people even said it was one of the best weddings they've been to. So we were glad to accommodate. The only thing I got to get used to is wearing the ring because I don't wear jewelry. So like the fact that like I find myself like fiddling with it, like, okay, give the finger like a little bit of a break, then okay, it's back to the spot. And I told my wife this, that's gonna take some getting used to too. But yeah, I told my wife, I was like, is this gonna take a little bit? She's like, yeah, I get it. And it's gotten more natural, which is nice. But I mean, the day itself, listen, we don't have to discuss it on here. This could be an off camera, whatever, but some drama before, but the drama subsided. It led to the beautiful ceremony. Mike, shout out to you with the wine table movement. That was very, very good.
It was huge.
Yep, it
Wouldn't be a
was.
wedding without it.
No, of course not. And shout out to both of you guys. You guys stepped up. Both of you guys stepped up the day of, and we nailed the handshakes. Like I'm just gonna say it. The handshakes were
Those
beautiful.
are awesome.
Liam and I did the Cam Newton Superman. Mike and I did the Stephon Diggs scuba celebration. I call it Stephon Diggs because that's where I knew it from. But regardless, it was great. It was so much fun. I feel bad for people that were there that weren't like on the dance floor the whole time because there was some crazy shit that went down. Like
you got picked up a couple times. You got dropped a couple times. That was nuts.
I got picked up and dropped a couple times. I'm okay. Don't worry. We had people rapping full songs.
I wasn't worried.
We had rap battles going on. We had just everything that you could imagine going on. But it was a great day. And then, my wife and I got to spend 5 days in Aruba for our honeymoon. And you know what? 80 to 85 every day. The beach, the pool, everything right there. It was amazing. It was exactly what was needed. So it was good. But we're back to reality. Going to enjoy the last couple of weeks of summer before I go back to school. I know for you guys, it's not kind of the same thing, but Yeah, no, I'm excited to just be back and glad that everything went well. It was so much fun, and I'm glad you guys were a part of it.
Yeah, it was awesome. I do want to
Thank you
give a
for
shout
having
out
us.
to Liam. Liam and I were the first ones to carry Al into the room,
Yep.
put him on our shoulders. I saw Liam was trying to do it beforehand. And Liam, I know you could have done it. I know you could have, but I was
I
like, you
could
know
have.
what?
I know I could have.
I'm here. Let's get, the two strongest men at this wedding. One by far more stronger, but we don't need to pump myself up anymore. Let's get Al up on here. I do remember though, Leah, me and you had him up there, and at one point we looked at each other. We were like, "Put him down." Yep, let's put him down.
Yeah, put him down right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and I looked at both you guys. I'm like, guys, this is not going to work at least right now. Let's get some more reinforcements here. But
Dude, and then the
Yeah.
second time it was that kid that rapped at the wedding, and it was me and him. He was picking you up by like your kneecap. I had basically all of you on me, and that was unfortunately
Yeah.
when
He's like
you
holding
had
you by your toe. It's like, wow, you're really carrying your weight, buddy. Thank
you
you.
had a little
uh,
bit of a harder landing at that point. But you were feeling pretty good. I don't think you felt the thing. Al was chugging beers, doing dance moves. He did the worm. I've never
that
like
Damn.
no. That part is not. I'll let you say the other stuff. The worm was not true. That was my sister-in-law. All right, like
I thought you
let's
tried to
call it
do
like
the
it is.
worm.
No,
I
that was
thought you
not
tried to
me.
do the
That
worm.
was not me. Nope, it
Okay.
was not
Okay.
me.
You did
I
you
did
did
She
you
dance.
gets
did
down like that? Hmm.
Oh, dude, everybody was dancing. Al at one point pulled me into the dance circle. I didn't know what to do. We just started dancing. I was like,
Yeah, it was great.
bro,
Why
I got
I
not?
like
thought
two
I was
dances.
dancing. Where was I for this?
Yeah, you were outside for a good like the second half of the night. I'd say you were probably
Oh, right.
outside.
I went out to have a stove. Yeah.
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 So
Yeah. But no, great, beautiful day. You and Courtney, congratulations. Yeah, it
thank you.
was it was an awesome day. Again, anybody needs anybody to carry a wine box, I'm here for that. I got that. But yeah, all right, you guys ready to talk about Patriots training camp?
Before we do that, real quick, I'm going to ask you guys. It's a football question, but it's not a Patriots related question. How do we feel about our fantasy football league draft picks for the first round this year?
I'm happy. I'm picking number 4. I'm very happy with that. I didn't really want to fall out of the top 5. I think I texted you, Al, when I found out like I kind of being in that top 4 is the sweet spot for me. So I'm happy with it. Liam lucked out.
I know. As I was going along, so for anybody that doesn't know, Mike, Liam, and I are all in a big money. I'm putting in air quotes, big money fantasy football league. It's 10 of us.
It is kind of, I guess.
It is. But it's a good time. We have fun. We had the draft the other night. I picked all the names out of an envelope, sent these guys the video. So I have the 6th pick, Mike has the 4th pick, and Liam has the 2nd pick overall. So it's going to be interesting to see the draft strategy. So now, Liam, real quick, your draft question. Then I got one more question for both of you. Then we'll get into everything Patriots. How do you feel about 2, Liam?
Pretty good. I feel like, and I really don't think I'm speaking with bias here, that number one is usually kind of a crapshoot. Like everyone took Christian McCaffrey number one the year he ended up getting hurt for most of the year. Like number one just kind of seemed to be a bait and switch kind of one. Last year it was Jamar Chase. That didn't work out so hot, though he was, I guess, all right. But number two is pretty good. I'm fairly jazzed up, I would say. I like that. A middle pick is good too. But yeah, I'm pretty satisfied to say the least. I was like, oh, that worked out well.
Okay, so now Liam, I'll go reverse order. So now I'll come back to you. With your 2nd pick, can you confirm or deny? We're going to try to get a scoop right now. Can you confirm or deny that at 2, you will take one of Bijan Robinson or Saquon Barkley if they're on the board?
Uh, I'm gonna pull a quote from the great Anthony Fauci and double quote from Aaron Rodgers. I plead the fifth.
I tried. I, I tried my best.
Bijan would be sweet though, and of course Saquon, my sweet savior. So either one of them are certainly in play. But I'm a wild card. Could be Jalen Hurts, could be AJ Brown. Fucking, I might take Drew Brees just for the fuck of it.
I
I
would do
hope you.
Bijan.
I hope
Bijan
you
just
do.
signed a huge contract.
No. I hope he does take Drew Brees. You should do that. I think that's a really smart strategy. I
I
like
might.
that.
I just might.
All right.
He
So
would.
now, Mike, last question for you. Then we'll get into all the Patriot stuff. Will you be in physical attendance for this draft?
So I guess I will break the news. Unfortunately, I will not be. I don't
Ah,
think. I
I had
don't
a,
think so.
I had a feeling. I had a
I
feeling.
have to if it what I will say, it is on a Monday. If it wasn't on a Monday,
I hate it's on a Monday again.
yeah, dude, pay attention to the group chat.
I texted you.
Why
No,
do
no,
we
no.
keep doing this?
No, no, no. I texted you on the side and told you the date. You were like, "Oh, sweet, that works." So no, 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 you
He
can't do
doesn't know
that.
dates.
He
I,
doesn't.
He
I don't
can't
remember that.
count.
Text me
But
on the
no, if
side.
if it was on the weekend, whether it was like Saturday or something, I definitely would. But just with
Ow.
because I'm also taking off time a few weeks after that to actually go back up to New Hampshire. So yeah, it's just not going to work. But I will.
Oh,
That's fine.
I was reacting to the second pick, not the date of the draft. I didn't read that part.
See, he
I'll
doesn't
be
do it.
there via Zoom just like
Oh,
last
it's a
time.
potluck?
Yep, it's
Oh
a
my God,
potluck.
this
Yeah,
guy.
see what I mean? Like this is what pisses me off about you, Liam. I love you to death, but I make things so clear. You bitch and complain and whine about group chats, which is fine. I understand that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna throw Liam a bone here. I'm gonna text him on the
I know, I
side,
appreciate it. I
and
appreciate it.
and I'm gonna be like, you know what? Everything's there, so he can't say that I didn't say anything. And sure enough, oh, it's a potluck. Oh, the draft's August 24th.
Like, no way,
Yeah,
we're in a fantasy league.
this is NFL football. I thought this was the Canadian Football League.
No, we're doing
Like,
college.
oh my God, NAIA. Um,
I
but
like to
yeah,
be surprised.
I can tell. But yeah, hopefully we'll get everybody there. I know one other person will not be there, but I'm hoping that everybody else can be there so we can have fun and do everything well.
Can I hope and pray and take a
It's
guess?
not.
Or do you say,
It's not him.
fuck,
It's not him.
bummer. Is Evan gonna be there?
Evan is not in the league.
Oh, bummer.
Not a football guy.
Dude, this
That makes
guy,
sense.
this guy, Liam. Um,
I know. It's just my God.
yeah, no, yeah. Unfortunately, I won't though. But yeah, it'll still be good. We'll still give everybody the updates week to week as the league starts to kind of see where everybody's at. We'll do after the draft. We'll do our normal little like draft segment where we kind of recap the teams and see how everybody did. So
Right, exactly.
um,
And I figured, listen, as long as you're on Zoom, that's totally fine. Like we'll make sure that
yeah.
you're a part of it, everything else. I was looking
Mhm.
forward to your buffalo chicken dip, but now we can't do that. It's unfortunate.
You make
Um,
buffalo chicken dip?
maybe I'll
He
find a way to
has.
like maybe I'll find a way to like send food up there or something like that.
Don't
I'll
don't
figure it out.
don't do
I'll
that.
figure it out.
Don't
I'll
do
get it
that.
catered. All of a sudden you guys will get like a knock at your door or some shit
Send
like
it up
that.
so I don't have to bring something because I don't really cook, so I don't know what to
Oh my
do.
God. Okay. Liam, you
Bring
might not
that.
even be there. Do you know
I
where it
know.
is?
Like,
I'm going to safely assume it's at Alice, unless there's
yes,
been a pivot.
yes,
Okay.
Liam's just
yes,
going to be
yes.
wandering around the streets being like,
Liam,
Yeah.
fantasy?
Liam,
Fantasy?
bring like a bag of chips and a dip. Like you can
Okay.
buy it. Like keep
There
it
you go,
easy.
dude. Get a salsa.
I never
Get a
That's it.
leave home
salsa.
without dip.
There you go. Okay.
Edible dip that you can't throw up
Edibles?
with.
I might go.
Technically.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, so that'll be fun. That'll be fun to do it if we'll kind of we'll put our draft our teams out there and have everybody vote for it again like we did last year. So
Yep. Love it.
all right, we ready to get into training camp?
Let's do it.
Fuck yeah, let's go. Because we have not recorded since training camp started. We have not recorded since padded practices either. Been a lot going on. The big thing though that I want to jump into, which kind of will lead us into it, Gabe Jacas. That was the big storyline the last time we recorded. He wasn't signed, second round pick from the Patriots, the only second round pick, the only Patriots draft pick not signed. It was a big thing. What's going on with his knee? Did he tell the team about his knee injury? Did the team know anything else about this procedure he got done? Vrabel seemed confident about it. Really, there was no talk from Gabe Jacas either. You kind of started to hear people like Burt Breer on NBCSN saying that Gabe Jacas might be redshirted, which to the people who don't know, that just means that you're not going to play your first year. But fret not, Gabe Jacas got signed a 4-year, $8.6 million deal. The big holdup, I guess he had some sort of injury waiver in there. I don't care. I don't want to dive into the particulars of it. All that matters is Gabe Jacas is here. He was immediately put on NFI, the non-football injured list. And then he came off it like a couple days after. He's been at practice the last few days. So I want to toss it to you guys because you guys know how I feel about Gabe Jacas. I thought he was going to have a tremendous year this year. He might start a little bit behind the eight ball, but he has been practicing, not a full go because they're easing him into it, but he's there. He's running over coaches. How do you guys feel? Gabe Jacas, defensive end, second round pick, a lot of potential, a lot of expectations. How do you feel? He's signed, he's on the team, he's ready to go.
Thank God that he is signed and he is at practice. Because what is the one position that everybody was worried about coming into camp in terms of depth? It was edge rusher. What is Gabe Jacas? An edge rusher, and a very violent and good one at that. So when you had this holdup, and when you had this whole back and forth of like, oh, need him to sign the contract, need him to get into camp, like, yeah, rookies need to get into camp because it can't be overemphasized. You're going from the college ranks to the NFL. It's a whole different game, whole different speed, new defensive schemes, everything. Everything is more advanced. And when you're not there to pick up on it, you're losing out. And that's something that in Mike Vrabel's system and Zach Kerr's system, you just can't do. So thank goodness that Jacas is back. Like you said, he ran over the linebackers coach, which I was at the training camp that day. Didn't see it in person, but saw it after. And my friend and I were like, dude, this is absolutely hilarious. Like, it's so great that this happened. But yeah, hopefully that he can kind of bring that energy into week 1, week 2, and everything in September and have a great rookie year. So thank God that saga in air quote is over. So
Yeah, Liam, how do you feel about him being here and I guess kind of move forward on the edge conversation too? Do you think it's an issue? How do you feel about it? And then we'll kind of get into all the other things.
I mean, obviously, I'm psyched that he's here. There was a ton of weird stuff though going on with him, like the injury news and whatnot. So I'm proceeding with caution. Where there's smoke, there's fire. It might just be one of those weird years. I think we talked about it when the news of him was fresh when we were talking about his holdout as well as the injury stuff. But overall, edge rusher, yeah, it is clearly the bigger weakness on our team, but in the grand scheme of things, I I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to be super worried about it. Like defensive linemen, it's it's pretty easy to play the position. You know, you have one of two gaps. You know, if it's a run play, you're going here. If it's a pass play, you're going after the quarterback most of the time. Sometimes you drop in the flat. You know, it's not nuclear science here. I was watching Edelman's podcast with Lawrence Guy actually. It was pretty awesome. And he was talking about how he's like, yeah, the defensive lineman. He's like, we don't we don't have a whole lot of assignments. He's like, every play is pretty much the same thing. You have two assignments. You just got to figure out if it's run or pass. And if you can't figure out if it's run or pass, you probably shouldn't be in the NFL. So I tend to think defensive lineman in the grand scheme of things, though, very demanding physically. Not so much taxing mentally, I would say. So I'm not super worried about it as long as we have some hard pipe hitting dudes that want to go get the quarterback. I'm not super worried about it. Most of all, the one that always sticks out in my head is Harold Landry. Like it was awesome until it wasn't last year. So I'm just wondering, is it going to just be the Matthew Judon thing every year, where the first half of the season is just this tear through, and then the second half of the season is we put his face on milk carts, and we're like, where is this guy? Or is it just going to be like an absolutely stellar performance year in and year out now that he's, a year healthier, hopefully, and has the system down pat? So we'll see. That's my thoughts on the matter.
hey Liam, you know what I can't wait for, by the way?
Well,
I can't wait for when Gabe Jacas records his first career sack on September 20th against Aaron Rodgers. That's gonna be fantastic. I'm gonna love every second of it. It's gonna be
clearly you
great.
don't have a whole lot of faith in him that he wouldn't get it in week one. And second of all, if he were to get a sack, which I'm not saying he would, it wouldn't be easy against Aaron Rodgers. He just gets rid of the ball so damn quick. But if he did sack Aaron Rodgers, it would be because of the offensive line, which last year was middle of the road, to say the least.
Ah, okay. Okay. See what he did there, Mike? You
Yeah, I
see
saw
what
what
he
he
did?
did.
Okay.
What I did like what he did, though, he brought up Harold Landry. And I think the edge position is really, Liam, you said it, Al, I know you feel the same way. I would say it's probably out of every position group, it's really the only worrying group on the line on the team. Like obviously you have your normal worries with offensive line, can they block? Like
Offensive line is
corners,
definitely
can
a
they sit?
worry.
Can they guard? But the thing is, with offensive line, you have a revamped thing. You have bodies. It's really just
Yeah.
like kind of normal worries where it's like, is Will Campbell going to step up? Elijah Barrett Tucker, what's going on?
Yeah. Who's going to get
Jared
hurt?
Wilson, exactly. But with the edge, it's really one of those things where like you're thin and the people you have, there's a lot of question marks. So obviously, Gabe Jacas, he's here. We hope he has a great year. It is his rookie year, so you have to kind of temper the expectations a little bit. You brought up Harold Landry. He signed a 3-year deal, $43.5 million, $26 million guaranteed last offseason. So this is the middle year of that 3-year deal. This is really the sticking point. This is the thing that a lot of beat writers are talking about, a lot of local radio people. The Harold Landry deal is looking less and less like a good deal. Like you said, though, Liam, he looked great when he was healthy to start the year. And then
Yeah.
he had a
What was it? Two
nagging
sacks in the first
injury.
two games or something crazy?
Dude, he had
Two
yeah,
sacks
he was killing
respectively in
it.
the first two games.
Yeah, and then I think he had like a multi sack game as well, and then he got hurt, and he was playing
Yeah.
hurt the whole year. He hasn't practiced all offseason. There's been 9 practices, so it's not like we're going to a huge workload. But Vrabel did also say like he would expect Akis to be out there before Landry, which has come to fruition. When it comes to Harold Landry, like I know that we all like when he's healthy. Other than him, you have Gabe Jacas, Draymond Jones, who the Patriots signed to a pretty big deal, relatively big deal. I think he's really gonna be your Caleb on Chase on kind of replacement. Then other than that, you have Elijah Ponder. You got Braden Swinson, who I guess is looking good. He dropped some weight. I think we were all kind of fans of Braden Swinson, got drafted a couple of years ago. That is the thinnest group there. So I guess what I want to ask you guys, are you really worried about the group, or are you in the camp I'm in where not every team needs to get pressure from the edge? And I think the Patriots happen to have two phenomenal interior defensive linemen in Milton Williams and Christian Barmore. So, well, where are you
Yes.
guys at with it? Are you worried about the edge because you're worried the team isn't going to be able to get pressure, or are you just worried about the position group itself? And then we'll move on to a bunch of other stuff.
I'm actually going to go with option C and say it's the depth of the position. Like it's the fact that like look at last year. Patriots lost Milton Williams for about 5, 6 games or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. And then they had trouble getting to the quarterback in those games. So, if Akis goes down or Draymond Jones goes down, it's like, okay, fine. You have a good secondary. Your linebackers are pretty decent to pretty good. But you give, I mean, we saw it week 1 last year against the Raiders. You give Geno Smith all the time in the world, he's going to take advantage of it. So,
Mm-hmm.
I know it's easier said than done, but they're NFL quarterbacks at the end of the day. You give them 5 to 7 seconds, they're going to find somebody and they're going to, pick you apart. So that's my only concern is if one of the edge rushers gets hurt, or like we said, if Williams or Barmore gets hurt, then you start to look even more and more thin. So the talent itself, no, the talent is the talent. It's there. But could you have added someone, and can you still add someone in like a Kayshon Boutte trade or something like that? I think you could.
Yeah, Liam, how do you feel? I know Vrabel is comfortable with the group right now, but are you worried, or are you just kind of supremely confident in Williams and Barmore that they'll make up for the pass rush?
First of all, I'm supremely confident in Williams and Barmore. There's absolutely no reason not to be. Just out of all the weaknesses, they're going to cover up a lot of it. And interior pressure is some of the worst pressure that you can get. Um, my biggest thing with the edge position as a whole is really the main concern that everyone has in every offseason ever is just the fear of the unknown, I guess. Like I don't know how Harold Landry's going to be. That was my most recent pressing point. I don't know jack shit about Draymond Jones. Like I can look at the stats and the stats are okay. Highest sack season is 7, but when I look at the stats, like I can pick out things that get me excited. The QB hits are great. Like we're rocking 15, 24, 13, 12, 10, 11, 11. Like he's a former Raven. He's going to commit crimes and, play outside the bounds of the law. So it is cool. That's what we're looking for. A sack or nailing a quarterback after he throws a pass are the same result. We're looking to hurt the quarterback. Sack just gives you a loss of downs, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, I don't know what I'm getting from them. But last year we didn't exactly know what we were getting. Chase on, it was like, okay, cool, like first round talent. He had a great year the year before, but for the most part, he was very middle of the road. So I'm like, okay, what are we getting here? He ended up being great. Um, so I will go into the Draymond Jones thing with that same expectation that hey, he very well could be awesome. But the Harold Landry thing, like we have sample size, we have data on that. And some of these other guys like Ponder, we saw him, doesn't move the needle. No one's buying a Ponder jersey. Like where so I don't know. Like it's a lot of unknowns. So I'm just proceeding with caution. But in the grand scheme of things, if you have a killer interior defensive presence, like
Mhm.
JJ Watt made a career out of that, Aaron Donald made a career out of that. If you could tell me who the outside linebackers and edge rushers were for those teams, I'll give you some bonus points here because like the Texans drafted Jadeveon Clowney after having J.J. Watt be sick for like 2 or 3 years just to add outside presence. And then Whitney Merciless came into his own, but then the Rams didn't really have anyone, so they had to go out and get Robert Quinn. I think they originally had Dante Fowler, and he was pretty awesome until they got rid of him. But like they had to trade for all these guys when they're like, oh, we have sick interior presence. So ideally, like if none of these guys are cutting it by like week 5. I'd hope we'd go out and get shit like Robert Quinn, who was the edge rusher for Aaron Donald, is still out there and ageless and still really good. Like, go get somebody like that. Somebody who's just like super serviceable. You ask him to do one damn thing. It's like when the Eagles had Ndamukong Suh for the last year of his career. It's like, dude, we're going to bring you in on third down. You have one responsibility. Go hurt that guy. Step on his ankle, elbow him, kick him in the dick. Whatever you usually do to quarterbacks, just go do that.
Dude, I mean, there's one guy out there, and I think well, there's a couple guys out there, and they're veterans too, so it's kind of like, do you need to sign them right now? Like they're good. There's one guy though, everybody's bringing up, Kyle Van Noy. Bring him in,
Yeah. How
hired
is he
assassin.
unsigned?
He doesn't need to it is obviously a different system, but like
Yes.
he's just familiar with everything. So I would
Yeah.
I would expect Liam, like you said, where I think they're gonna roll into the year because I know Vrabel has spoken about this group and he's pumped. He's pumped with the interior, the edge. He likes his defensive line, his kind of edge rusher group. But if by week 3, 4, 5, it's not cutting it, see what Kyle Van Noy's doing. Like,
Oh,
see, what one of those vets are doing.
yes, I would love if the Patriots re-sign Kyle Van Noy.
It'd
He's
be
one of
Right?
my
awesome.
That'd
One
be so
year.
sweet.
one of my
1 year.
favorite not one of my favorite Patriots players of my lifetime, and that's not an
He's the
exaggeration.
man.
Dude,
Love Kyle
and
Van Noy.
he still is very much he's more of, and I'll say this about a lot of people, he's more of a Patriot than Tom Brady ever is or was.
Yeah.
Like he
Dude, he
loves
loves the
New England,
Patriots.
still talks about it, still talks about Edelman, still tweets or talks with Edelman, all that stuff. So yeah, like there's options there, but I understand everybody being a little worried, a little nervous about it, but I will say if Draymond Jones and Gabe Akis pan out to however you hope they will, this defense is going to be incredible. So we'll see though. It is definitely something to watch. Gabe Akis, for what it's worth, said he feels 100%. Of course, he's going to say that, but still, and he kind of looks it. But I think they're slow rolling him back into the into rotation, and yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see if Harold Landry ever comes back. I think unfortunately he might start the season on the pup list, and maybe he comes back week 5, but either way, I mean, we are far past the days where we're wondering who our quarterback's going to throw to, who's going to cover people. We're worrying about like skill
Yeah.
position. Like, hey, are we going to be able to have like another pass rusher? Because we're good on the interior. We got solid backers. We got the best corner in the league, who we're going to talk about in a second. Our safeties are good. We got a Pro Bowler we just signed. Like, it just feels nice to be a Patriots fan
Yeah.
right now.
We're back to
Oh, it's
like
the
the
best.
2011 Patriots
Yep.
years where it's like, do we have enough help?
Yep, exactly. That's where we're at. But do you guys have anything else on the edge before we talk about another defensive player? Probably the other elephant in the room.
Nope.
Christian Gonzalez, still not signed, but is practicing. No holdout, no hold in, no nothing. No Matthew Judon sitting on the pads, bitching and moaning about stuff. No nothing. he's acting like he got his extension. And I think I kind of want to kick it off just with my thought on it. Him and Devin Witherspoon are both up for a giant contract extension. They're probably not probably, they're two of the three best corners in the league. I think when one gets signed, the other one is going to get signed. I think it's that simple. I think that's why Gonzalez is out there practicing. I think that's why like it doesn't seem to be an issue. That's why the Patriots social media accounts are still pushing Gonzo like he is signed on the team, which take that for what it's worth. But I don't think that they'd be doing that if there was an expectation it wouldn't be done. I don't care about certain reports where, oh, they don't seem close. Vrabel also said that Gabe Jacas wasn't even in New England, and all of a sudden he got signed later that day. So like, miss me with that stuff. Where are you guys at with the Christian Gonzalez saga? Because I think that's really the only elephant in the room. Because Jacas got signed and everything else. So where are you at with Christian Gonzalez? How do you guys feel about it?
It's a non-story. It's a waiting game. That's what this is. Once Devin Witherspoon signs his contract with the Seahawks, you're going to see shortly after Gonzalez's agent's going to be like, all right, Witherspoon got 33, give us 36 or whatever. And they're going to get the deal done. And I mean, you got Robert Kraft coming out and being like, oh, we offered him one of the biggest deals in team history. Like, they want him here. He wants to be here. And he realizes too, with his past and his injury history, that he can't afford to miss time off the field because of a contract dispute. That's why he's at practice every day. That's why he's not having the hold in or holdout situation like you mentioned, Mike. It's going to get resolved. I think that this is something where it just needs to kind of die down, breeze off into the wind and just move on to something else. It's going to happen. It's going to take time. Now, if it becomes like October and he's not signed, then it's like, okay, let's have a discussion. What's going on here? Why are we at this point and why are we doing this?
Yeah, that's how I feel. Liam, how do you feel about it?
Couldn't have said it better myself. You painted the entire picture. This is a completely transparent situation where they're both just holding out for the other one to collapse, so one of them makes the most money. I think it's kind of lame, but that's how the game works. But I will say he's the model of somebody that's holding out. No distraction, not super annoying. The only one making a big deal out of it is the media. It's great.
They have the same agent too. So like if you're the agent, you don't want someone else to sign until you have a deal with someone else. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like it's basically just a staring contest. Like where I'm at, where if one of them if Witherspoon gets signed and Christian Gonzalez isn't signed within 72 hours, then I'll worry. Right. Until then, neither one of them are holding out. They're all practicing in different weather. They're practicing in the rain, in the heat. They're putting their body through stuff. They're risking injury. Like, I think that it's just normal negotiation stuff, where especially when you're talking about two players at such a high level at their position, they're trying to set the market. That's what it is. So we'll see where it goes. But my worry level is at 0. I'm just kind of waiting for that big Adam Schefter tweet where it's Christian Gonzalez Inc.'s biggest corner deal in history. Yeah. And then a couple hours later, where it's Devin Witherspoon following suit, gets a deal with $3 million more guaranteed. Like, that's all it's going to be. So listen, I understand all these radio shows and people have stuff to talk about. You got to find things to fill the airtime with. I get it. I'm not worried. I think Tuck Rule takes official statement on the matter is we are not worried about. So
correct.
Christian Gonzalez will be here. Can't wait to have him here. I want to talk about his battles with AJ Brown, but I kind of want to save the wide receivers to be the final topic we talk about. Because I think there's a lot there, right?
Okay. Yeah, it mixes in. Yeah.
Okay. I have other things that I want to rattle off. Did you guys have anything you wanted to get to, or like, do you kind of want to just go through the little list I had and then we'll get to receivers? Because I think we have a few other things to talk about. One thing I wanted to bring up that I know you guys wanted to talk about, Andy Borregales, he's missed 2 kicks all summer so far.
Yeah, 30 for 32.
I understand special teams isn't sexy, but when you have a kicker who is putting them through the uprights like this, that gives you points. So I did just kind of want to give my praises to him. Bryce Behringer is doing well also punting. Do you guys have any thoughts on Andy Borregales before we move on to more pressing things to talk about?
The only thing I'll say is it's kind of nice that he hasn't missed anything beyond 50.
Yep.
Because you remember
Yep.
last year, the Bills game, wasn't that a 53-yarder to win the game at Buffalo Sunday Night Football?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But dude, he's back, man. He's here. I know people were talking about bringing in competition for him and all that. You don't got to worry about that. Big AB don't care about that. You bring him in. He doesn't give a shit. He'll kick the lights out of this bitch. He'll pull a Ray Lewis in the Super Bowl. Lights out. Let's go. Yeah, Liam, I know you like to make fun of me when I talk about special teams so much. Are you at least happy that the Patriots seem to have their kicker?
I mean, he came from the most incredible university ever. I'm not surprised. And I gotta say, like, yeah, he had some brutal misses last year that were like, you're like, man, that one strikes fear in the heart a little bit, takes you back to the Chad Ryland days. But
Ugh.
if we could have just held the Seahawks from scoring one touchdown, he becomes the first kicker who's Super Bowl MVP. So like he was the only one who fucking showed up. He was the team's leading
Yeah.
scorer. He was just pouring them in, just Steph Curry range, field goal, field goal, field goal. Like I was like, oh my God. So like friggin' his most recent outing was pretty good. In the playoffs, he was crushing it. We didn't ask a whole lot of him. We scored touchdowns when needed, but there were a handful of Drake May fumbles and offensive duds of drives that he came through and kicked playoff field goals for us through the entire playoffs. He was the most consistent option of the bunch, besides a guy that we're going to talk about in a little bit. So I mean, it's awesome. It's like Forrest Gump said, one less thing. You don't have to think about it. And much like we were talking about earlier, we have to think about edge rush. We have to think about offensive line. We don't have to think about kicker. It's one less thing. Like he's good. We had Adam Vinatieri and segued smoothly into Steven Gostkowski, and we didn't question the kicking game for almost 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
By
We're
the
good.
way, you put some respect on Chad Ryland's name. If it wasn't for him, we don't have Drake May.
I
Just
thought
keep that
about
in
that
mind.
immediately.
Yeah, I mean, thank God for his incompetence.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank God for
gee.
that Giants kick that missed like way left.
Wasn't anywhere
Wide
close.
left.
Yeah.
Wasn't even
Oh.
close.
But yeah, man, it is nice, to not have to turn around and not face the TV when, the Patriots kicker trots out there to kick.
Yeah.
So,
Shield
yeah,
your
it'll be
eyes.
nice. Yeah, it'll be nice to have just another piece to have a complete team. You got to have a good special teams. Seems like the Patriots have that. I mean, Brandon Schooler as well. I mean, I know he's been hurt a little bit here, but special team seems to be rounding into shape. So that's cool. Just had to shout them out. But Liam, you did bring up offensive line. I figured we'll talk about it. I guess we'll start with Will Campbell, kind of like the lightning rod of the Patriots for the most part. First of all, like if you're watching the Patriots videos they post, there's a quick clip where Will Campbell's doing some sort of double-handed stroke
Salt and pepper
thing.
shaker.
Gee, I wonder what
but
that is.
guys, some people might know. But yeah, Will Campbell though, for what it's worth, all stroking aside, he's looked good, I guess. He's improved a lot. Draymond Jones mentioned it, who Draymond Jones went up against him last year. Also, coaches, everybody's been talking about it. He looks more sturdy instead of waiting for the pass rushers to come to him. He's kind of going out and trying to stop them. He's anchoring himself better, which is something that was an issue, obviously, last season when he came back from injury. It seems like he's put on some muscle as well. He worked out with who did he work out with in the offseason? The left tackle.
Lane Johnson.
Lane Johnson. Yeah. He worked out with a bunch of them, but Lane Johnson was one of the bigger ones. Liam, obviously, you're a big Lane Johnson guy, former Eagles offensive lineman.
Former.
Yeah. So, didn't he retire this year?
No.
Did he not? Okay. So no, still offensive lineman. So, yeah, Will Campbell. And then, we'll kind of go from there. But how do you guys feel about Will Campbell? Are you confident in him? I'm pretty sure last we all spoke, we were still confident in his abilities, but where are we at with Will Campbell? And then we'll talk about the rest of the offensive line.
He's going to be fine at left tackle. And if he's not, then you experiment with the guard position and you throw Lomu at left tackle or Marcus Bryant at left tackle. Like there's options there. But I think with a healthy Will Campbell, with a second year Will Campbell, with a, like you said, Mike, much stronger, dare I say, a little leaner Will Campbell, like I think you're going to see everything that you need to see. You're going to get the results that you want in protecting your franchise quarterback. Will Campbell is going to be fine. And he's winning a lot of his one-on-one battles in camp. So that's a good sign
Yep.
too.
Yep. Yeah. Liam, how you feeling about our sweet prince over there at left tackle?
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He was hurt a lot last year. He missed games with injury. It is official. He was truly hurt. It's not a cover up for bad performance.
Nope.
And it was a long, long season, the longest season that any team can possibly have. And he just had to endure it. The jury's still out on him. I will absolutely withhold all judgment until after this year. Then I'll have a little judgment. Nothing, damning, nothing final, but I will have opinions after this year, and then I will leave it up to the third year for me to make my definitive opinion. That will probably form my opinion of him for the rest of my life. But yeah, like I'm gonna give him a shot. And most of all, he seems like a hilarious dude. So like I'm in.
Yeah, and like you said, man, for all these rookies, this was the longest season they've ever played, whether
Ever.
college, high school, anything. And like you said, like one, it's the longest you can play in the NFL. Even if they went to like one playoff game, it's the most games they've ever played in a professional season. So like you got to kind of give them a little bit of leeway there. Yeah, I think anyone who has such a pessimistic outlook on Will Campbell, I would just urge you to reconsider. He was hurt. He came back. He did his best. I know the big thing. Well, why did he come back, Bubba? Because he's a football player. That's why.
Yeah.
That's the answer. He's not like, I don't know, a certain Red Sox player who has the most confusing hand injury in the world, who just refuses to come back and play. I like hockey. I like, after the season's over, where you find out certain players had a punctured lung, a broken rib, a fractured ankle, and they were still playing. I like when my players come in and try to play.
Yeah.
And I like that from Will Campbell. And to be honest, guys, even if Will Campbell was the best he could be, the Patriots were still losing that Super Bowl. So, like, let's
Yeah.
not say it was just because of one person. Like you said, Liam, it was basically the Borregales and Christian Gonzalez game. That's all
Yeah.
that was. But so offensive line, though. So Will Campbell, we're cool with it. We'll just go right down the line. Elijah Vera Tucker, AVT. Big thing with him. Patriots signed him. Good deal. They spent some money on him as well. His thing was injuries. He hasn't missed it. He hasn't missed a practice due to injury. He's had his veteran rest days or whatever, just like Vrabel kind of does with people. But health wise, he's been a beacon of good health. So I'm all in. I'm ready to be hurt. I'm ready for him
Yeah.
to, hurt me on it. Where are you guys at? I think it's going to turn out to be a great signing. But where are you guys at with Elijah Vera Tucker at left guard?
So I will be completely transparent. I haven't heard one thing about him. I didn't want to hear a thing about him. And that's the best thing when you don't hear about your
Yep.
offensive tackles. That means they're doing their job. That means they're not screwing up. That means they're not injured. So I'm good with it. Let's keep that going. Short, sweet, and to the point.
Exactly. Liam, how you feeling about him?
Um, I think it's an awesome signing on paper, and I hope it works out to be as such. Like the dude has all the resume, when healthy, and all the physical attributes to be a stud offensive lineman in this league. Guys, just a meat house. And we desperately needed to pay a lot of money for somebody that could be awesome. We need some sort of foundation on the offensive line. Like we have a second year dude that we drafted very high, a rookie that we drafted very high this year, an older free agent that we paid a good bit of money for last year who was super solid. But he's older, his body kind of broke down toward the end. We just need a pillar, somebody that is the face of the offensive line because Will Campbell, quite frankly, is the laughingstock of the offensive line right now. I don't like it. You don't like it. Al doesn't like it. Nobody fucking likes it. But that's just kind of how it is. People are going to shit on this poor dude until he gives them a reason to prove otherwise. So we need the Matt Light of this team. We need the Logan Mankins of this team. We need that one offensive lineman that tells the rest of the league that's an offensive line. That's a great offensive line because people aren't going to take the time to look at each and every single player and grade them in their position. They look at one person and go, yep, that's a great offensive line. You look at those early 2000s Ravens teams, that's a great offensive line. You know why? It's not because of Orlando Brown, their right tackle. It's because of fucking Jonathan Ogden, their left tackle. The greatest show on turf. It wasn't because of the very good guards that they had. It was Orlando Pace. The pancake man is their left guard. You need a face of the offensive line, some stud, somebody that you can point to and go, as the opposite of Scarface, where Scarface is coked out and drunk in the restaurant. He's like, you guys need me. You need somebody to point at and go, that's the bad guy. Instead of that, it's the opposite. We need somebody to point at and go, that's the fucking good guy. That is the good guy right there, and he makes the rest of the guys good.
There it is. There's the reference I've been waiting for. There's always one
Yeah,
unexpectedly great one. That's it.
yeah,
Elijah Vera Tucker, by the way, 27 years old, signed a 3-year,
yeah,
$42 million deal, 21 million guaranteed. Big deal. He is Liam, like you said, him, Will Campbell,
yeah,
Jared Wilson, who we'll talk about in a second. Those are your three pillars you have right now. Young
yeah.
guys, 27 is young for an offensive lineman, obviously. Will Campbell, Jared Wilson, first couple of years
Caleb
in the league.
Lomu.
Caleb Lomu as well, who we'll talk about, who's going to be taking over for Morgan Moses, hopefully. But yeah, you hope he stays healthy. If he does, that left side of your line hopefully is good, which obviously is big for May because that's his blind side. Center, Jared Wilson. He played out of position last year. He played left guard. Still did relatively well for someone playing there. He's at his position. There have been, I want to say, a few fumbled snaps. No one seems to be too worried about it. They asked May. May said one time he held his cadence for too long. They asked Wilson. He said, we're just getting used to it and everything. But other than that, purely blocking, Al, like you said, you said it with AVT, Elijah Vera Tucker. There, you haven't heard much about the offensive lineman, which I think is good. And I guess we'll kind of do Mike and Wenu as well in here, because when we talk about Lomu, we'll talk about both of them at right tackle. But Jared Wilson, Mike and Wenu, both of them together. I'm supremely confident. Liam, I know you're not a big Mike and Wenu guy. He did just sign a little extension, though, this offseason. But it seems like the center of the offensive line is doing well, too. Where are you guys at with Jared Wilson and Mike and Wenu?
I mean, again, I'll go back to the Elijah Vera Tucker point. You haven't heard anything bad about them. They've lost a couple one-on-ones. So what? It's bound to happen. Life of a lineman. They're young. They're going to be the pillars of the offensive line. So just keep developing, keep improving. Then once Nwanu eventually goes because he's going to get old and they're going to get rid of him, then fill that right guard spot. But other than that, you have something good right now. Just keep it up with those two. Again, a really young center and still a young-ish type right guard. And hopefully the running game, kind of picks up and, we'll kind of feast with those guys leading in front.
Dude, you got Reggie Gilliam. I'm not worried about the running game. Okay. You got the best fullback in the league. He's going to help. But yeah, Liam, how do you feel? I think right guard is probably going to be the next position of need because Owenu's probably gone after this year. But just those two in the middle, Jared Wilson, Mike and Wenu, how do you feel about either of them? Or I guess more so Jared Wilson, because I know you're not the biggest Big Mike fan.
I mean, it's gonna probably be a rough transition. Like he was a center, played guard, played a long season at guard. Now he's going back to center. Probably gonna be a rough start. Probably gonna be a rough first game. Might even be a bit of a rough second game. In the grand scheme of things, he's younger, has far more intangibles, all that funny bunny bullshit that you think about that we truly didn't expect from Bradbury, who surpassed my expectations of him being dog shit to being relatively okay to above serviceable.
Mm-hmm.
But now we have a younger guy who went to a esteemed university in the Georgia Bulldogs, who are just shitting championships left and right. This
David
guy
Andrews
should
came
be
from
a,
there.
yeah, 100%. And when the Patriots have a personal legacy of centers from there, and David Andrews wasn't taken very high either. He might have been undrafted, but friggin',
Undrafted. Yep.
yeah, he was. So like, it doesn't matter where we get him. It's a great university, and he's just so full of potential. There's no promise, but he's full of so much potential. He's young. We have a center. It's what we desperately need. And though it's probably going to be a weird transition for him, he's almost certainly going to be uncomfortable. And everything I said about the first two games probably is true to an extent. I also think that it's going to be like riding a bike. He's going to be like, all right, like I'm back. It's going to feel a little more familiar to him. And that's why I don't expect the rough stretch to go on very long.
Yeah, and he basically echoed exactly what you said today. Because someone asked him like, did you have to get used to snapping again?" And he was like, "No, like it's just like
Yeah.
riding a bike." I think he literally said it's just like riding a bike. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not. I think
You
like you
don't
said,
lose
man,
it.
potential. There's potential. We're all excited. Speaking of potential, though, right tackle Morgan Moses. We all love Morgan Moses. He's probably done after this year. Dude is 34, 35, if I remember correctly, one of those two, which is crazy.
Yeah.
He's as old as me, and people are like, get him out of the league. He's ancient.
Get him. Yeah.
Um, but
Out
Caleb
to
Lomu,
pasture.
first round draft pick, has been he's been kind of playing a little left tackle, a little right guard, but he has been your second team right tackle. I think for all intents and purposes, that's what he is going to be. He's probably going to be your swing tackle this year, which when you need six offensive linemen, he's going to be that guy that steps in and plays that role. I do think he'll get some play this year. My question to you guys is, do you think that at some point this year, whether it be injuries, whether it be strictly play, will Caleb Lomu overtake Morgan Moses for the starting right tackle spot?
I'll let Liam go on this first one. I've been going first a lot tonight.
I don't think so. I think he'll play. I think Morgan Moses isn't going to make it a whole season. He almost never has in his entire career, and to expect him to do so in what very well could be his last year is a lofty expectation that, as a gambling man, I'm sure Al would agree with me as a fellow gambling man. I don't think we put money on it. I would say, it's probably like a plus 600 for him to start every game. And I don't love putting that money down. I'd sprinkle something on it, but like in the grand scheme of things, probably wouldn't
Like,
do it
wait
with
a minute, I
confidence.
could.
Yeah, it's if it's those odds, but like no, like I think I'll play. But in the grand scheme of things, like he was the right tackle that took us to a Super Bowl, and if he comes back, and as long as he hasn't lost form, as long as the injury that he suffers isn't debilitating or a Will Campbell like injury from last year, if I was the coach, I would put him right back out there. Lomu's gonna have a long career, and we have a guy that, by most of my records last year, was more than solid.
So here's where I'm kind of at. So Morgan Moses is in the second year of a 3-year deal, and he's due $8 million next year. So in 2027. My guess is if Lomu shows strides throughout the year and he's ready in say like mid-November by Thanksgiving, let's say, so maybe not mid-November, but like late November, why not start him if he's ready to go and he's going to be one of your pillars for the next 5 to 10 years? And then in the offseason, you can release Morgan Moses so you don't have to pay him that 8 million, and you have hopefully a stud at right tackle in Caleb Lomu. So that's where I'm like, okay, if he's getting the reps in games and he's doing fine and not allowing sacks, not having penalties at the line and everything, why not start him if he earns the job down the line too? So
Do we believe in offensive line continuity where, because Caleb hadn't played with them most of the season or all season, is it weird to throw him in there? Do you believe in that, or is that horseshit?
I think to an extent, yes. But I think if it's looking clear, like Morgan Moses is losing a step,
Yeah.
he's getting a little slower,
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, if
then
he gives you
then
no choice, yeah, of course. If he breaks his leg in week 2, you have to fucking start Caleb Bloom. If he looks like dog shit by week 7, you got to start the other guy. But if they're both relatively healthy,
keep Morgan Moses in. That's probably what I would do. Yeah.
Maybe keep Moses at that point. If it's close, then
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. Like if it's close, I'd probably go with the veteran. If it's
Right.
like, and I can see him sucking. Like I can see Morgan Moses just blowing wind. Like I get it, dude. Like you're old, your body's been beat to hell. If he just
Mhm.
goes out there and he pulls Avonte Davis, he's like, man, I don't have it. I'm glad we have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think that's the thing. Like it's one of those positions where it's like Morgan Moses does well. Great. If he doesn't, all right, rookie, time to get in there and see what's going on. And, I think the team is invested in Caleb Lomu. I don't think that, say he has a bad year, whatever that looks like to you, the team isn't going to pull the ripcord on him. Like, I think that Lomu is here for a while. So yeah, I think it's an interesting thing to watch. Morgan Moses, for what it's worth, has looked good as well. He's had his veteran rest days too, which again, like I mentioned, Vrabel does pretty well with a lot of the older guys. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, offensive lineman, other than just your regular, is the second year guy going to come in? Like, how's the old guy going to look? Whatever. It's nice not to be like, is Vidarian Lowe going to be able to block anybody? Like,
Yeah,
we've come a long way. Now it's just
we certainly have.
normal worries where it's like
Yeah,
health basically is the
yeah.
worry. So,
Because really, no
uh,
team has a super deep offensive line except for maybe the Birds. But like in the
no,
grand scheme of
like,
teams, like
yeah, you had to bring up the Eagles. Yeah, most
I'm
teams
just saying they
don't.
have the
And
best.
that's also the case with most position groups. I see a lot of Patriots fans every once in a while will complain about depth. Every single team in the league has depth issues. There's like 2 to 3 position groups, maybe, where a team feels good with their depth. But even then, you lose 1 or 2 starters, no team has depth for that.
Yeah,
Like, come on now. But yeah, offensive line is going to be nice to see how they look in joint practices, which I think starts next week, if I remember correctly, against the
fire
Eagles
me
next
up.
week.
I
So
love the joint
cannot
practices.
wait. That's going to be a good episode. We might end up recording a little later in the week, maybe so we can get the joint practices in.
Yeah,
So we can get some stuff there. So yeah, that'll be good. But yeah, the only other real position group before we get to wide receiver I want to talk about, just tight end. Hunter Henry, not him. He's sweet boy, doing great. Love him. One of my
always.
favorite tight Patriots players of all time. I know you guys
Yep.
feel the same way. Eli Raridon is who I want to talk about. Third round draft pick, 96th pick overall. He started a little rough in rookie mini camp or whatever. I guess he was playing kind of slow, but he must have studied the playbook because he has been on the steady increase, according to everybody that's been at Patriots practices, reporters, fans, everybody. Eli Raridon, he's 6'6" too. He's a big guy.
Monster.
He's got to work on his blocking, just like I think every rookie tight end has to do. Put some
He's
weight on.
not big. He's not like a Jonathan
Yep.
Ogden 6'7", where you're like, man, that guy can block. Like, no, he's not even Gronk. He's not thick. He's Jimmy Graham. He's 6'7". And you go, yeah,
Perfect.
he's there to catch the ball.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Athletic. That's what he
and
is.
Yeah.
and to his credit, he's caught the ball. He's granted sometimes it's a lot with more of like the second team offense going against probably like second team defense. But he's doing really well. He's a big target for May. We know Drake May likes big targets. Drake May, by the way, you might be like, oh my God, the guys haven't talked about Drake May. You know why? Because he looks fucking great. So we'll
Yeah,
talk
what's there
about
to
him when
say?
we talk about wide receivers. Okay. But yeah, Eli Raridon. I was pleasantly surprised with the pick, even though I thought maybe they were going to do something else at tight end. But kind of looking into him coming out of Notre Dame, he had a lot of potential. He seems to be trending in the right direction, which is all you can hope for rookies right now. But yeah, just kind of quick thoughts on Eli Raridon. Do you think he plays a relatively big role in the offense? Because it seems like he's tight end number 2. So how do you guys feel about him? And do you think that the Patriots should add to the room, or are they good where they're at with tight end?
It's nice that they have a potential Hunter Henry replacement for when he's, older and his contract's up and everything else. And you have that other guy, that Tanner Arkin or whatever, that has been making some rounds and stuff too, who could
Huge
be
thighs. Huge
right.
thighs.
Could probably take Julian Hill's place this
Yep.
year because he's on season ending IR. So I mean, it's nice to know that there's actually a plan in place because, listen, I love Hunter Henry, and I've loved Hunter Henry since he signed here in 2021. But realistically, how much longer can we assume that A, he'll be productive, and B, that the health stays where it's at? Because don't forget, when
Mhm.
he was with the Chargers, he couldn't stay on the field. Now, as he's getting older, is he going to have those injury problems pop up again? Time will tell.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's good to have someone like Raritan who hopefully can kind of come into play and kind of spell him a little bit. Tanner Arkin, you brought up, he's going to be your really blocker, not really catch the ball much. He's a monster. But yeah, Liam, how do you feel about the tight end room? Really specifically, Eli Raridon and Tanner Arkin, if you've even seen anything about him, because he's really popped up recently. But how do you feel about them?
Um, I'm just gonna come out and say, pretty psyched. Julian Hill's out for the season. That's that's tight because like that would have sucked. If we could do something about CJ Dupree, then all my worries are extinguished for the most part. But like the Tanner Arkin guy's fine. I agree wholeheartedly that he's far more of a blocker. I was checking out the tape from him in Illinois, and this past season, his last season in college, in the preseason, they put him as like a Mackey Award watch guy. He had like 114 yards and 2 touchdowns. I was like, don't think you're winning the Mackey Award with that one, dog. So I don't know why he was considered for that list, but he seems like he contributes in the blocking game. I'm not even thinking long term as Al, where I don't want to think about post Hunter Henry Patriots time.
Right?
That would make me upset. I don't even want to imagine what that's like. So I am just gonna hope and pray that nothing happens to Hunter Henry because no matter how many times he gets bundled each year, and it does seem like he gets lit up at least once really, really hard
A
each season.
lot.
Yeah. And I'm like, every once in a while, I'm like, dude, you can do like what Tyler Lockett did and just like go down when you catch a pass. No one's gonna fault you. Like you're
Hmm.
blocking. Sometimes you power into the end zone. If you just like catch a wide open one and hit the ground, dude, I'm not gonna hate on you for it.
Do
And
it.
he won't because he's a fucking animal. But it's just incredible because when he was on the Chargers, he was box office and could never stay healthy, never played a full season. And he comes here and he's just an Iron Man and he just gets his dick kicked in up and down the field and like just goes out there and catches passes. Like he's super solid, whether it's 2 passes for 25 or 6 for 89 and 2 tubs. Like he's just gonna go out there and give you the same attitude. But Raritan, like it's it's cool. I'm not sold. I wasn't sold when we drafted him. But he has all the dimensions to do so. I just like tight ends are so weird. Um, like how many times do you really have like I that's why I don't have any faith in CJ Dupree or didn't in Julian Hill. Like when Gary Barnidge had that sick year for the Browns in like 2015 where he exploded, he'd been in the league for like 5 years as like a backup blocking tight end. All of a sudden he 1,000 yards, like 15 touchdowns. Everyone's like, what the fuck? And then he goes
Hmm.
back to being dog shit like the year after. So
Forgot
that
about that.
never happens. Um so I wasn't expecting anything like that from Dupree or Julian Hill. The odds are starkly against them. With Raritan, like he's young. Like I hope he's exciting. He's basically another wide receiver out there, and he's big. I don't know if the hands are good enough to be another wide receiver out there. Like he's not Gronk. There aren't going to be one-handed catches. He's not Jimmy Graham. He's not high pointing the ball. He's not Antonio Gates. He's not catching. Doesn't have a ridiculous catch radius. I would love to be proven wrong. I'm leaving myself open to be proven wrong because he looks the part. He looks like a receiving tight end. He looks exciting. He looks fast. He's not as fast as he looks, but he's faster. He'll get open. He'll get you extra yards. He's not going to break away a 60-yard touchdown, but he'll take a 60-yard pass down to the 1 yard line and get tackled. But I just have tapered expectations with Eli.
Yeah, and I think you should, especially with Hunter Henry being the tight end one right there. Like you said, he's been an Iron Man. Henry's not going to come off the field a bunch. So really, I think all we can hope for with Eli Raridon is just to develop, make some big plays, step in when he has to, and kind of go from
Yeah.
there. But
And like the backup tight end's job is really easy. Like Austin Hooper got himself another contract living off like awesome love of the game routes, or if you throw it to him, he's probably wide open. Like he's
like five
just
good plays. Like,
100%. And it was
yeah.
awesome. And we all loved Austin Hooper. Like he was a great
Mhm.
starting caliber tight end who was our backup. And that was awesome. And I'd love to get that from him. Like if we can get like a simple play action, Hunter Henry goes deep, he's lined up next to Hunter Henry, fakes the block and just does like the tight end leak, brings it across the field when all the routes are going to the right side. If he just does a drag to the left, after blocking, leaks out and is wide open for like a 30-yard touchdown. Dude, that's all I'm asking for.
Liam, that's the play they've been practicing with him, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Just so
Okay,
you know,
sweet. Fuck yeah. Cause,
those are
cause
the
it's
plays
it's the
that
money
he's been
route.
in for. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Like
just
everyone's using
be
that now.
aware.
The leak is in, and
Yep.
I love it.
Yep, he will be that guy, and his hands have been getting better and better. It seemingly daily. So yeah, we'll
Good.
see another fun position group to see. So we'll see what happens. But all right, we've held off long enough, and we've kept everybody here long enough. So I think we got to go to our final thing. You guys want to talk about the receivers? I feel like we got to go into it. Um, let's kind of start with the big thing. AJ Brown, Drake May. The whole talk was, oh my God, it seems like their connection isn't developing. Philly fans, those fucking losers, were all on social media being like, oh my God, see, this is what happens. Oh, they took a AJ Brown quote out of context where it was like AJ Brown was saying that, the Patriots aren't letting him throw the ball right now. He said it in jest. He was talking to Scott Zolak about it. Like it wasn't a serious thing. None of that matters because right now it seems like the league done fucked up and gave Drake May AJ Brown because they seem to be connecting more and more every day. Once the pads came on, which is funny because another receiver we'll talk about, Kayshon Boutte, was doing real well before the pads came on. Pads come on, and it almost seems like the talent rose to the top. And AJ Brown seems like that dude at Patriots practice. So I don't want to be too, I don't know, overstated with it, but I think that we're about to see the best year any quarterback and wide receiver has ever had in the history of Earth. So how do you guys feel about the connection that AJ Brown and Drake May seemingly have? And then we'll kick off basically the wide receiver talk. But where are you at with those two, AJ Brown right now on the team?
Liam, you want to go first?
No, I insist.
Okay, good, because I was going to say too bad. I'm going first anyway. So,
Good.
so here's the whole thing with AJ Brown. It's so nice having a number one receiver. It's so nice to have a guy that's going to
He's the
make a play
best.
for you and is going to be the guy that you can go to and is the guy that defensive coordinators that you're playing against are going to have to game plan against. And that's going to open things up for Romeo Dobbs. That's going to open things up for Hunter Henry. That's going to open things up for Efton Chisholm and Kyle Williams and Mac Hollins and everybody else. It's going to make life so much easier. Demario Douglas, too. Can't forget him. But having AJ Brown in that huddle on the offensive side of the ball, I told you guys, I went to training camp on Saturday, saw it right in front of us. Him and Christian Gonzalez going at it one-on-one, pulled down a 20-yard reception and fought with Gonzalez to get control of the reception. That is an alpha. Excuse me, that is a dog. And that's what they've needed, a dog. And now they know there's your number one receiver. And everyone else can just sink into their roles. They don't have to play over their heads. Everybody, in the words of Bill Belichick, can just do their job. And my gosh, it's so much fun to watch. I can't believe Liam thought that this guy was never going to be here, wasn't going to be that good. Can't ever
No,
believe
I
it.
never said he was not going to be good. I never ever
I
said.
think you said
In
he
fact,
sucks.
I've been,
Yeah, said he's
certainly
brutal.
those words have never left my mouth. He is the greatest
Said below
receiver in the
50
league.
receptions.
He's the best receiver in the league. I never questioned the talent. That was, that will not hold up in a court of law.
But
I
yeah,
gotta ask, when you were there, so I saw the film, Instagram Reels, fucking YouTube videos, all that shit. It looks like he's just putting belt to ass to everyone.
pretty much. Like every rep he does, Like there were even some reps where they were working on, I think they were working like on like intermediate gains. So like moving the ball like 20, 25, 30 yards. And there were a couple routes where he had Christian Gonzalez beat easy. Now, granted, Drake went to like Romeo Dobbs for 20 yards and went to Demario Douglas for like 15. But you could just see the route running is so crisp, it's
It's so
clean,
good.
and these Eagles fans, I'm not talking to you, Liam, but these Eagles fans on Twitter and Instagram are like, oh, good luck. He can't separate. You can only throw it into a tiny window. It's
Yeah.
just like, I don't know.
Oh,
Sour
Like,
no.
grapes. They're wrong.
yeah, which, by the way, and again, this is not a shot at you. This is to
I know.
general Eagles fans. Your quarterback didn't throw a touchdown till the fourth day of training camp. So, like, shut up.
That doesn't matter.
And,
He's not
like,
great. He's not
but
good.
but the point being
Sorry,
is that the receivers can't get open. If the receivers can't get open, you could have used somebody. And there was one Eagles like reporter or someone that was reporting from training camp, and he's like, positive, the defense looks good. Negative, they could really use a couple offensive playmakers. I wonder who you could have had. Maybe AJ Brown. But listen, their
we
loss,
have
our
Devontae
gain.
Smith. We're fine.
Yeah, who had a hamstring the other day. But yeah,
So did Lemon too. So did Makai
yeah,
Lemon. Both of them.
exactly.
They
They're
pulled a
both
hammy.
fine.
So, oh my gosh. So, bottom line, AJ Brown is so much fun to watch, and it's going to be great when he has those big games. My bold prediction, I think he's quiet in the Seattle opener, but I think he has a big home opener against the Steelers.
Admission.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. Liam, I know you're a fan of AJ Brown. I know
Yeah.
we
know.
kid, but I understand. Yeah, man, just how do you feel, man? The connection's there. Drake May's got the number one guy. You had one of your favorite receivers went from your 1A team to your 1B team. So you got to be happy. How do you feel about the connection? Do you think it's going to come to fruition in the league? Just basically just general thoughts. AJ Brown, how you feeling about him so far?
I just love watching this dude play football. Like Al said it very well. Like the routes, he's just routing people up. The stutter steps before his break, gets low in his cuts. He's just this guy knows how to run routes. Those Eagles fans, that is sour grapes. He knows how to separate. He is unbelievable. And I was watching a handful of videos of him at practice, and it's just like that's why I asked out. Like he's just killing everyone. Like he gets Marcus Jones on a slant, gets Gonzo on a stutter and go. The famous one is like he had that bobble catch over Gonzo in the left end zone. He had a crossing route. No, it was a stutter and then flag to the corner of the end zone against not Charles Woodson, Craig Woodson,
Charles, yeah,
and
yeah.
just well, second coming, and just smokes him. And I'm just like watching all these clips, like he's so fucking good. There was one he beat two guys deep post over the middle for a touchdown, and I couldn't even tell who the defenders were. Or they were so far behind him no one was near him. And I didn't see the setup. I didn't see how he got so far away from them, but I bet it was a crispy, disgusting move that one man shouldn't put on another man that's on the same team. But he's out there just showing them this is why you traded for me. This is what you're going to get. I might take it easy on you during the season if you're lucky, but this is what we're getting into. Just nasty work. The hands are immaculate. Everything. He's the best receiver in the league, and it's going to be awesome. And I will, just for the sake of being a gambling man, I will bet against Al in the Seahawks home opener when you need offense that we didn't have in the Super Bowl. Give the fucking ball to AJ Brown. I want two catches on the first drive, two catches on the second drive, and then one catch every drive going forward, finishing with 9 catches. I want him to get the most catches possible.
You sound
I
like
hope he has
Matthew
a big
McConaughey.
game. I really do.
You sound like Matthew McConaughey in Wolf of Wall Street, where he's like, I want two shots. And then two shots after that, and then one shot every time.
One shot
Yeah,
until
I
one
want,
of
I
us
want a big
passes the
third
fuck
down, a big 3rd and 8, a
Yeah.
nice 10-yard catch. He fights for it.
I
Like,
want to see one of these many stutter and goes that I've seen all throughout these clips. I want Devin Witherspoon, him on an island with AJ Brown, a little stutter go. Devin Witherspoon sniffing money while AJ Brown's in the end
yep.
zone.
Yeah, dude, it's going to be awesome. And I think it's nice to see that the connection is starting to really develop. I think that's the thing. I know I think that term, that phrase, that thing might be overused now. Like, oh, do they have the connection if they miss a couple balls here and there? It is what it is. All Patriots fans need to know is that AJ Brown is a Patriot and it's going to do wonders for Drake May and the rest of the receiver room. One guy though, who is he on the bubble? Is he an AJ Brown backup? What is he? Kayshon Boutte. I mentioned before the pads came on, Kayshon Boutte was killing it. Not that he's been bad, but just he's kind of stepped back a little bit. But he was putting on a show at training camp before the pads came on. Pads come on, kind of. He got leapfrogged by a couple people. Kayshon Boutte also requested a trade back in May, which was about a month before he said that Boston was his home and he wanted to stay here forever. So, not saying that he was lying or anything, but just putting all the facts out there. I guess what I want to ask you guys about Kayshon Boutte, is he gonna? It seems like the age old question: is he going to be on this team this year, like for the duration of the year, or are they going to trade him before week one? Are they going to trade him before the trade deadline? Like, or does he stay on the team? Like, and also, what do you guys want? I guess just everything with Kayshon Boutte right now. What are your guys' thoughts on him?
Yeah, I go back and forth because like he has the chemistry with Drake May. It developed it a lot last year, but then I'm on the other side of like, okay, if you're not going to get anything, like if you can get something for him before he walks, get something for him. You need an edge rusher. Like I've said, call the Giants. See if you can get Kayvon Thibodeau. Be ambitious. Call the Bucks. See what if Boutte is even a starting point to maybe get Vita Vea out of there.
Oh.
So like there's options there if you want them. But if it's not gonna be a distraction, then just keep riding him as long as you can until you find that trade partner. And if he's gonna be a distraction, then get him out. Just like you did with Judon. Like when he was a distraction, you got him out. So if he's gonna be a distraction, then Mike Vrabel's not gonna wait around. They'll get him out of there. But otherwise, why not keep him around if he's producing?
To his credit, he hasn't been, and I know you kind of mentioned it too. He hasn't been a distraction. The team hasn't put anything bad out about him. They've both been very professional about it moving forward, or since that trade request back in May. But yeah, just kind of wanted to get that out there too. Liam, where do you feel on it? Because I know that we're all Boutte fans here, both the player and the noun Boutte. But yeah, how do you feel about him? How do you feel about him in the room? And then yeah, do you think he stays, goes? Should they send him? Should they keep him? What do you think?
By no means should they get rid of him. I don't care how loaded the room is. I don't care about this and that. He's a supremely talented receiver who just finally we just got to utilizing him, and now we're getting rid of him. Like I, I'm sure Romeo Dube's going to be good. I love Afton Chisholm. I have all the hope in the world for Kyle Williams. Mac Hollins. Also, one of the few who showed up in the Super Bowl and like had some really cool moments last year. Like I like a lot of the guys. I don't know if I'd be willing to part with any of them, but I definitely don't want you getting rid of Kayshon Boutte. Like hold on to that shit. And again, Boutte, nice. But like do not just throw him away for like yes, trading for Vita Vea. Jesus, say that 10 times fast. Would be awesome. He's a game-changing defensive tackle. We have two great defensive tackles. Pushing Milt Williams out to the edge could work, but we don't need to keep loading up on defensive tackle here. Not three stud starters anyway. If Vita Vea, this is like, 2, 3 years down the road, he's close to retirement, and you're just bringing him as a pass rushing presence or an early rundown presence, then maybe I get loading up the defensive tackle room. Even like there are plenty of edge rushers. The Kayvon Thibodeau one is interesting. Like he's a supreme athlete who just hasn't put it together. Maybe this would be the place he does it. trade anyone but Kayshon Boutte. And maybe I'm biased because I sat in Death Valley in that LSU stadium. I watched Kayshon Boutte give Auburn 152 yards and two tubs. And then I watched him last year in the games that we needed him most. Like that Texans game, we would have lost without him. Can Romeo Dubes do that same thing? I don't know. Can AJ Brown? Certainly, yes, definitely. But it's nice having a younger guy who can do that. How long are we going to have AJ Brown? 2 years. We can sign Kayshon Boutte. Probably will never have those supreme numbers that'll warrant a giant contract. We can keep signing him for cheap, hang him around, and then once AJ Brown's gone, hopefully he's the man. Like what happened to we had Julian Edelman for like 5 years before he started. Just hold on to the fucking guy. Don't let him go. Like we brought in Amendola, we brought in Austin Collie, we brought in all these guys. We had Amendola or Edelman the whole time. Just hold on to the fucking guy. We don't need to get rid of him just yet.
I've done a complete 180 on it. And Al, I think I even mentioned this to you. Keep them, keep everybody.
Yeah.
Keep keep 7 receivers. I know people were saying that, oh, that's not that common. I think it was something like 12 teams did last year, 11
We were
teams
one of them.
before. Like teams, like it's not uncommon, it's not rare, but it happens. Like, you normally have double-digit teams the last 5 years. I looked it up, who have had 7 active wide receivers on their 53-man roster entering week 1. Be one of those teams. Like you said, Liam, the Patriots were one of them the last couple of years. Like, do it. Keep Kayshon Boutte here. And then guess what? If by the trade deadline, if some team needs a receiver, say it's the Eagles, whoever it happens to be, and AJ Brown's playing well, Romeo Dobbs is coming to form, Pop Douglas is here, then ship him out. Otherwise, keep him here. It doesn't seem like he's going to be a problem, like you mentioned, Al. If he is or not, it seems like he'll be fine. Why not keep him and keep the room loaded? Obviously, him and Drake may have the chemistry too. You know,
Most of all, make teams game plan for 7 fucking guys because
mm-hmm.
just about all of them do something different. Like AJ Brown, Kayshon Boutte, both D threats. There's some overlap there. AJ Brown can take a slant to the house. He can take a 10-yard into the house. Kayshon Boutte's probably not doing that, but Kayshon Boutte will give you the sideline artistry. AJ Brown will do that too, but he's just a supreme receiver. Romeo Dubes more of a possession guy. He's a lot like Matt Collins. They do a lot of the same things, red zone threats and whatnot. Dubes would be a little quicker. Collins would be a little taller. Then you have Kyle Williams, the speedster. You bring him in for like 5 plays a game. It's like, all right, we got to guard the deep routes here. He's going to come in for 5 plays, and in 5 plays, he's only running crossing routes where he's wide open or deep routes where he's just going to burn us. Make teams game plan for all these guys.
Yeah, why not? Like, keep him here. So we'll see. But for what it's worth, Kayshon Boutte is still having good practices too. It's just obviously AJ Brown has leapfrogged him as he should. Um, so we'll see what happens. Another receiver, we keep talking about him, Romeo Dobbs. It's taken a little while for him to kind of connect with Drake May. They're still building their connection. But Dobbs, you're seeing a lot of his work in the red zone. Which I think that's what you're going to see because he is a big guy. He's 6'2". He's actually bigger than AJ Brown. Yeah, he's 6'2", but people there say he's like 6'3", maybe pushing 6'4". He looks really big. I'm not worried about the Romeo Dobbs connection. I just kind of wanted to throw it to you guys quick. It doesn't have to be a long convo because we got a couple other receivers to talk about. But Romeo Dobbs, I think he's going to fit in well. I think you signed a receiver on the upswing. So I'm ready for him. Are you guys worried at all about Romeo Dobbs, or do you just think it's kind of just a case of it is what it is right now at training camp? We're 9 days in, but how do you feel about him?
Not worried at all. He got banged up a little bit on Saturday, had a little bit of ankle stuff, but got it taped up. He was right back out of practice, finished the practice. So he was fine. You said it yourself. He's going to be a possession receiver, a slot receiver. He's going to get a lot of touches in the red zone. So I think that's a good sign. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Romeo Dobbs, especially when AJ Brown gets doubled some games, or they have the best corners on AJ Brown too, and that opens up a lot more for Dobbs in the slot, or in the intermediate game, or in the red zone.
Dubes, how do you feel about him, Liam? Are you worried at
Gonna
all?
love with you. He's the one I care the least about in this room. Like I know we just signed him to this huge deal. I know he had like an awesome game last year where he caught like 3 or 4 touchdowns in a game or something like that. All of them were on fucking RPOs. Like, and I'm sure he's going to be fine. I'm sure he's going to have some moments at the end of the season that I look back on in fondness and go, that was really cool. And I bet he's going to have all these cool moments. I'm trying really hard. I can't give a fuck about this guy. Like, there's just nothing super exciting about this dude. And like, I'm just like, I'm sure he's going to be fine. But like, fucking, we got AJ Brown. Like, there are so many other receivers that we could have gotten that probably would have. I'd at least be excited about one factor of their game. I just can't even scratch the surface of being excited about this dude. So I don't know. I saw a sick highlight from him. He had like a back shoulder catch in the end zone, which was nasty. Like fucking
Yep.
cool. Like he can catch
Over
the
Christian
ball. And
Gonzalez, I believe that was. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
it,
had a
it
he had a
was
good catch over him. Yeah.
it was definitely. And like I'm sure he's gonna have more. I'm sure he's a super solid player. I just trying real hard. I can't give a fiddler's fuck about the guy.
So I think for just to kind of PSA, Al, what were you going to say?
No, we have some mini Patriots breaking news. Very
Oh
mini.
God.
The Patriots have added to their crowded wide receiver room with a waiver move on Tuesday. The Patriots have been awarded former Arizona Cardinals wide receiver Tejan Palmer. Palmer most recently played with the Cardinals in the 2025 season for a game, played 4 offensive snaps, 2 on special teams. Cardinals originally drafted the 6'1", 210 Palmer, 6th round 2024 NFL draft. Played at Alabama Birmingham. Led the American Conference with
UAB.
18. Yeah, UAB. Led the American Conference with 18.3 yards per catch senior year. 47 passes, 858 yards, 7 touchdowns that season. Anyways, point being, they added another receiver to an already stacked room. So,
Practice
like,
squad.
yeah, he's going
Practice
to be a
squad
practice
guy.
squad
Yeah.
guy.
Cool. Good for him. I echo what our fellow co-host here, Liam, just said. I can't give a fuck about that guy. So sorry. We got bigger people. Good for you, dude. I'm happy you're here. Need bodies, need to fill the training, need to fill, second, third team offense. So all right, cool. It's good that the team is still trying to add people, but with with Romeo Dobbs, I gotta say, I feel like a lot of Patriots fans are kind of have the feeling Liam has, where you have AJ Brown, he's your big like he's your guy. Kayshon Boutte, storyline there. Everybody likes him as well because he had a pretty exciting season last season. Other guys, Kyle Williams, who we'll talk about in a second, exciting potential. Dude got swole in the offseason, seems to be putting in work. Pop Douglas, people love Pop Douglas. There's still Matt Collins out there. I think Romeo Dobbs, to know, nothing against him, but I think he's just kind of lost in the shuffle. But I think Patriots fans are going to be very happy with him because I think he is a very good wide receiver too to have. I think that's really where we're at with him. So I understand Liam's thing where it's like it's just tough to be excited about him because there's so many other things to care about in the wide receiver room right now. But yeah, I think Romeo Dobbs is going to be good. I'm not worried about it. I think he's going to have a couple good games in here, and Patriots fans are going to be like, "Wow, that was a really good signing." But I don't know. We'll see what happens with him. Liam, one guy that you brought up or that you want to talk about from the wide receiver room, Kyle Williams, he does look much bigger. Muscle wise, he
Yeah.
looks bigger. The issue with him is people were saying he looks like a wide receiver 7 on the team a couple practices ago, but he seems to be working his way back up. The talk about Kyle Williams is, are the Patriots going to have 7 receivers? Is he going to get cut? I don't think Kyle Williams is getting cut. I think he's going to be on the team, but I guess kind of where do you guys land on Kyle Williams? Do you still have the potential with him? Do you still have the optimism with him going into year 2? He had a couple big plays last year. The big catch, obviously, in the Ravens game, the big touchdown. That's the one everybody thinks about. But yeah, where are you guys at with Kyle Williams? Are you confident in him? Do you feel like he's going to make some big strides here? And then we'll talk about the rest of the receiver room before we get out of here.
Um, it's weird. So when he got jacked, I was psyched. I'm like, here we go. This is kind of what I'm
It's
looking for
huge.
here. It's what Tyquan Thornton never did, and it's you're taking that next step. Just fill out a little bit, and then if you can just play your way into a Mike Williams or Mike Wallace on the Steelers kind of role, where you're just the speedster who's good enough to start. and you can bring that rare combination on a team with, on the other side, we have AJ Brown, Romeo Dubes, Keishon Booty, whoever it is, it's a skill set that no one else on the team has. I was psyched. And then training camp starts, and all of a sudden I'm hearing that same thing. He's wide receiver 7. He's buried on the depth chart. This guy isn't playing. And I'm like, how? Why? I'm like, don't really understand it. And I'm trying not to overreact to this training camp. Like Efton Chisholm played a ton last year and then had like 3 catches all season. So like just because you play a lot doesn't mean you're going to get a lot of playing time and vice versa. But it is weird because that if I was a coach, that would have been my advice to him. And then if he did it, you'd think you'd want to reward him with more time and whatnot. But yeah, I don't really know what to think. But I'm glad that he put on some more muscle anyway, as long as that's the truth. And every picture I've seen from him, he does look a little more beefy. He's not completely shredded, but he's not shredded either. So
Yeah, he's bigger. How do you feel, Al?
I mean,
tell me how to feel because I'm fucking clueless.
it's hard
I
because
don't give a fuck about this guy.
you saw the big play
I do
potential
care
last
here.
year. You saw
Yeah,
the touchdowns against the Bucks, the Giants, the Ravens, and in big spots too, like Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. You got started in that Bucks game winning because Kyle Williams, had a big reception and ran down the right sideline for like a
yeah.
60-yard touchdown. So,
Mhm.
Later.
right. So
Forgot about that.
there's big play potential there, but if you have AJ Brown, if you keep Keishon Booty, it's hard to envision a spot for Kyle Williams on this team right now. And that would suck because they used the third round pick on him in the 25 draft. And I'm not saying he's completely like worthless or he can't contribute, but the question is, where is that going to be? Because especially if people like Efton Chisholm as much as a lot of people are liking him, you already have enough cooks in the kitchen. Like I hate to say it, but Kyle Williams right now is the odd man out.
See, that would pain me so much. I think he just brings that speed element. I know we all like Efton Chisholm, but the more I hear and watch and see Pop Douglas, give me Pop Douglas over Efton Chisholm. I'm sorry, guys. Like they play a
I
very
completely
similar
forgot Pop
role.
Douglas on the team. Look at me
Dude,
go.
he
I
every
know.
time I talk about him, he is so much happier being in the same offense 2 years in a row. Like you can
Yeah.
tell
Oh
this year
yeah.
just feels a little different for him. But first of all, I want 7 receivers. Keep everybody, just let the
Yes.
chips fall where they may. But if you have to let someone go, I'm sorry, Efton Chisholm, you're voted off the island. I don't have that connection to you. Like you're
I
white,
do.
I'm white. That's all we got. Like other than that, get out of here. I think we're probably like the same height too, even though Liam thinks I'm small. Like, just
Yeah.
get out of here, dude. Like, I think that unlike Kyle Williams, Al, I think that Efton Chisholm is going to be the guy on the block. I think he might be gone, even though I know he just got his deal last year and all that stuff. Biggest undrafted free agent wide receiver contract Patriots have given out. I get it. I understand. But I don't see them giving up on Kyle Williams. I think he just has way too much potential. After this season, again, kind of Liam, like you said, it's a wait and see with other position groups. After this year, we'll kind of see where everybody's at. But I think going into the year, you got to keep him. I think you got to keep Pop too. Like, I don't know, like where do you guys, and then you got Matt Collins too. I forgot about him. Looking at the
Yeah.
room as a whole, where are you guys at with all these people? Because right now the Patriots have AJ Brown, Romeo Dobbs, Keishon Booty, Pop Douglas, Efton Chisholm, Kyle Williams, and Matt Collins. Those are 7 receivers who, like you said, do kind of different things for the most part. There's really no, I think the closest you have is AJ Brown and Keishon Booty, but everybody else does different things. Matt Collins is just your big guy, possession over the middle, out routes or whatever. Kyle Williams is your speedster. Pop Douglas and Efton Chisholm, I guess, are relatively similar too, more of your little slot guys, little gadget type people. And then Romeo Dobbs is kind of your Stephon Diggs role. But like where are you guys at with the room as a whole? Like, do you think they carry 7 in? And if you don't think so, who do you ultimately think is gone? Because I think this is the most exciting part of the Patriots offseason right now, is this wide receiver room.
So I'll keep it very quick. I think they carry 6 receivers Who do I think gets cut? Kyle Williams. Who do I think should get cut or put to the practice squad? Probably Efton Chisholm. Like that's what it should be. But we'll see. I mean, there could be a surprise. Hot take. I'm going to go bold take. If there's anybody that's going to get cut, that's going to be a big surprise of that receiving room. It's going to be Demario Douglas. That's going to be the guy.
I hope
If they
not,
cut
man.
anybody, if they cut
He's so
anybody,
excited to be here.
I know, but don't forget too, Kayshon Boutte could get traded. So then that solves. Then everybody's on. But
Yeah, dude, I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm undecided yet. Liam, where are you at? If you have to, who do you think will get cut? Do you think anybody will? Who would you want
They
to
have to
get
keep
cut?
all 7. Keep all fucking 7. Please, for the love of God, don't get rid of anyone. Keep everyone. This is a rare room where we went from having um a lot of fun guys. I'm not gonna light them on fire. Like Juju sucked, but everyone else was like really fun. Like Kendrick Bourne was actually pretty good in the grand scheme of
He
things.
was
Nelson
fun. Yep.
Aguilar was also pretty good and entertaining and whatnot. Um, and then Devontae Parker was like good for a game and then pretty miss in other points. But like we went from that to like a room where we're like we can't get rid of anyone. And at least that's how I feel. Like I literally wouldn't be able to part with anyone. Like if I was back in the day playing Madden and I'm going through and it's like send to the practice squad cut. I get to the wide receivers, I'm not doing a fucking thing. I'll cut an extra defensive tackle, I'll cut an extra linebacker, I'll do whatever. I'm keeping these guys.
I think I'm kind of with you. Keep them right now. Now, I'm not saying by the trade deadline you don't move someone, but right now, going into the year, carry 7 into week 1. Keep them all there because they all do different things. They're all good. They all have varying levels of connections with Drake May. He seems to like throwing to everybody and just see who performs in the season. Because you also never know like what happens if someone gets hurt. Then you got to have someone else fill in. Like just it doesn't do you any harm, I don't think, to any other group to keep all 7 of these guys. Like they all do different things. You can Josh McDaniels, the mad scientist, he can do stuff with them. Like I don't know. I would keep them right now, but I would say if you have to make a move, trade Kayshon Boutte by the trade deadline. That's what I would do. Unfortunately. And I think this goes, I've come into a different appreciation for Pop Douglas these last few days. I don't know why. I think I'm just a sucker for hearing him talk. The dude loves to be here. He's very excited. I'm like, you know what, dude, just stay, man. I love you.
Yeah.
Just stay. Like Kayshon Boutte, I like him too, but
In a Josh McDaniels offense, a bunch of different receivers going to play. Like, look back in the day, we had like a deep or a Sam Aiken crossing route that went for like a 60-yard touchdown, a Brian Times post route that went for a touchdown.
the
We
one catch
had
he had.
Yes, and it was sick. And we had
Tim's
Dante
time.
Stallworth in 2012 catch a 63-yard pass and break his arm at the end of it. The only pass he caught all year, but he went in there and he did it. And it was awesome against the Texans. I think it was a playoff game too, so
Mhm.
fuck them. But like, we play a bunch of different receivers. We play very deep. On that Kimbrel Tompkins game-winning drive against the Saints, Austin Collie, who was there for that week and that week only, played and caught like 2 balls on that comeback. Granted, we were thin at wide receiver then, but a bunch of different guys play when we're healthy and when we're not healthy. A ton of receivers. Josh McDaniels shuffles them in there. Not consistent, not by any means. It's going to be like they're more gadget guys than anything else. Every once in a while, he'll go, now's the time for Kyle Williams, or now's the time for, whoever. And he'll just send him out there. It's like we could really use a flea flicker, but he throws it to Efton Chisholm. And everyone's like, I guess, sure. And it'll probably work. Like
I
it's
guess.
so that's what I'm hoping for. If he gets rid of anyone, I'm gonna be devastated.
Yeah, I want to keep them. Like keep everybody. It does you no harm to keep them. And then if you want to move them as the season goes on, like I said, if some team they lose a receiver in their room and they want to give you a 4th or 5th round pick for Kayshon Boutte, do it. Or if they want to trade for a Pop Douglas, then do it. But I think, yeah, I think you gotta just keep them. Like, why not? Like it is what it is. What it is, Liam. Like you said, McDaniels will find a way to use them, and it doesn't seem like it seems like everybody in this room knows their role. Like, I don't think there's not any egos. If there was an ego, maybe it'd be with AJ Brown. But guess what? He's your clear cut number one receiver. Everybody knows it. Everybody on the team knows it. The coaches, the fans, him. Nobody needs to be worried about that. So yeah, I hope you can keep them all. I hope they do. And if they don't, I hope at least they trade someone for something. But we'll see what happens. Other than that, guys, I got nothing else. I know we've kept everybody here for a while, but it was a big episode. Training camp. There was Al's wedding. We had to talk about, like, there's a lot of stuff. Next week will be different because we are going to end up talking about most likely joint practices. We'll talk about all that. But do you guys have anything else training camp wise? Anything you wanted to get to before we get out of here?
No, I think we're
I think we
good.
nailed it.
I think we did. I think Patriots fans, if you take nothing else from this episode, be excited about this team because we are now worried about normal things to worry about. Like, are we going to get pressure on the quarterback? That is a normal thing to worry about. How many touchdowns is AJ Brown going to have this year? That is a good thing to worry about. Like, it's going to be crazy. Yeah, I think I can't wait for our like season prediction type things where we actually do record stats and stuff because I think we're going to have a wild time with that. But yeah, this was a big one. If you stayed till the end, thank you very much. If you kind of cut out, jump, skip, whatever it is, thank you for listening. But other than that, we will see you guys next week for our joint practice episode. It's probably going to be a little later in the week, like I said, because we're going to want to get as many practices in as we can. But other than that,
Hold on.
congratulations, Al.
Thank you. Real quick, we forgot to mention this really, really fast. Matthew Slater took a high school football job at Boston College High School in Massachusetts.
I saw
Big
that.
shot.
Props
Coaching
to
job.
him. Look at him.
Shout out to Matthew Slater, man. Continuing to do well in the community and continuing to be in New England. That's great. I love that.
Yeah,
Love
100%.
Just wanted
Sweetest
to give
dude
him
in
a
the
small
world.
shout out.
Love it. Love it. You know who didn't decide to stay in New England? Tom Brady.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
fuck you, Tom Brady. Also, sweet feet.
Sweet feet.
sweet feet.
Can't find the mouse, guys. There it is. Sweet feet one more time. Out.
Sweet feet.